Question number 4, David Seymour.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance and reads as follows. Does he agree with all of this government's spending choices?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, yes, where the government is making choices about new money, I do, but it's important to recognise that the $77 billion of current government spending represents the accumulation of decisions over many years. So the government is committed to high-quality decisions where it's allocating new spending and also trawling through the baseline spending to improve the effectiveness of much of that spending, which has been found to be less than effective.
Supplementary question, David Seymour.
Does he then agree with the recent decision to give $600,000 to Jane Kelsey so that she can study, quote, transcending embedded neoliberalism in international economic regulation?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, the member may be relieved to know that Ms Kelsey's academic peers made that decision, not the government.
Supplementary question, David Seymour.
Does he then, which of the following does he believe was the best use of taxpayer money? Find Me a Maori Bride 2 at $590,000, X Factor 2 at $800,000, or Grand Designs 2 at $1.2 million?
Order. The Honourable Bill English.
Well, actually, Mr. Speaker, I disagree with my colleagues because X Factor is a wonderful showcase of the talents of young New Zealanders.
True.
Order. 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 The level of interjection is simply too high. If you want me to mention a couple of names, I can, and they'll then be on final warning. David Seymour, supplementary question.
Supplementary. Does he believe it was a good use of $1.2 million of taxpayers' money to fund the ultimate Waterman stand-up paddleboarding event? And does he know whether Stephen Joyce tried out this paddleboard? And if not, can he speculate as to why?
Yeah, order. So, 3 supplementary questions. Which one can be addressed? The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, there's nothing I have seen Minister Joyce have a go at where he does not prove himself to be a master of the required skills.
Supplementary.
Order. 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 Supplementary question, David Seymour.
In light of these patchy answers to my previous supplementary questions, does the Minister truly believe that there is not a cent to afford tax cuts for hard-working Kiwi families this budget?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I share with the member his respect and regard for the fact that the only reason the government has billions to spend is because people who got up early this morning, made the lunches for the kids, got them on the bus and then went to work, probably their mother, pay their tax at the end of the fortnight. That's how we end up with billions. And the difference between us and the other side of the House is the other side of the House don't respect that whatsoever.
Question number 5, Dr. Parmjeet Parmar.